Famous from the television series Miami Vice, Don Johnson no longer lives among spotlights or packed schedules. Today, he has chosen a secluded ranch in Colorado as the anchor of his present life. In a place shaped by dry, cold seasons and wide, rugged land, he resets his rhythm around weather, physical work, and the steady repetition of each day. He never made a statement about leaving fame. He simply stepped away from it, trading attention for control and spectacle for a life that feels grounded and deliberate. And if you want to understand why a man once defined by visibility chose this direction, step with us into that space. Don Johnson's career did not begin on a stage or in front of a camera. It began with a turbulent childhood. Born in 1949 in Missouri, Don Johnson grew up in poverty within an unstable and abusive family, becoming familiar early on with the feeling of being pushed to the margins of society. His childhood and teenage years in Wichita, Kansas, offered no real advantages, except one: the ability to endure and respond quickly within a harsh environment. At first, Don turned to sports as a means of survival. He played American football, but was soon removed from the team due to disciplinary and behavioral issues. That rupture pushed him toward the stage. At Wichita South High School, playing Tony in West Side Story was the first time Don experienced a space where emotion was allowed to exist without punishment. From that moment, acting became a clear direction. Supported by a scholarship, he studied drama at the University of Kansas before transferring to the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. By the late 1960s, Don entered the profession with the mindset of an apprentice: no reputation, no network, and no guaranteed income. His stage role in Fortune and Men's Eyes in 1969 brought him his first real attention, enough to lead to his film debut in The Magic Garden of Stanley Sweetheart in 1970. The 1970s were a quiet working period for Don. He appeared steadily in independent films and television projects such as Zachariah, The Harrod Experiment, and A Boy and His Dog. Some performances earned critical respect, but they did not translate into status or stability. Income remained uncertain. Many television pilots failed to materialize, and the sudden death of his roommate, actor Sal Mineo, in 1976 cast an even heavier shadow over the decade. Don continued acting, but without the sense that he was moving forward. The work existed, but the future remained unclear. Everything changed in 1984, when Don was cast as Detective James "Sonny" Crockett in Miami Vice. This was the moment his career shifted onto an entirely different axis. The series was not only a ratings success, but became a global cultural phenomenon. The image of Sonny Crockett, his lifestyle, fashion, and rhythm, became inseparable from the identity of the 1980s, pulling Don Johnson into the very center of American television. His income, influence, and public recognition surged. He won a Golden Globe in 1986, received an Emmy nomination, and became one of the highest-paid actors on television at the time. After Miami Vice ended in 1990, Don faced a challenge familiar to many television stars: escaping the shadow of an iconic role. Early 1990s film projects gave him leading parts, but none produced a new peak. Rather than clinging to his past image, Don chose to slow his pace. His return to television with Nash Bridges in 1996 marked a more mature phase in his professional thinking. For the first time, he was not only the lead actor but also an executive producer, directly involved in shaping the direction of the series. Its multi-season run provided the stability he had long lacked. Entering the 2000s and 2010s, Don Johnson deliberately stepped away from the center of attention. He appeared selectively in supporting roles with depth, from Django Unchained to Cold in July, Knives Out, and Watchmen. This was a period in which he no longer needed to prove his ability, instead using experience to give weight to his characters. Film and television were no longer arenas of competition, but spaces where he appeared at the right moment. From 2020 through early 2026, Don has remained moderately active. He has taken part in several film and television projects as a veteran actor, while also exploring production roles. By his 70s, Don Johnson's career no longer chased relevance. It had already completed its arc. What remained was intention, a decision to live on his own terms, without noise, explanation, or the need to stay visible. And that choice is most clearly seen in the place he lives today, his Colorado ranch, where daily life replaces performance. Ranch in Colorado. If the 1980s made Don Johnson a cultural icon, this Colorado ranch reflects the life he chose once the spotlight dimmed. Set on roughly 17 acres near Aspen, the property is shaped by open meadows, rolling hills, and a pace guided by nature rather than schedules. It is where he lives with his family today, waking to mountain air, sharing quiet meals with his wife, and spending unhurried time outdoors, a home defined not by display, but by space, balance, and grounded routine. The ranch also reflects a difficult chapter in Johnson's life. In the late 2000s, the property came within hours of foreclosure, before he ultimately cleared a $14.5 million debt and secured the land. Since then, it has remained unsold, standing as a quiet marker of stability regained, rather than past strain. Inside, the house balances warmth with openness. The living spaces are airy and inviting, designed to host without feeling performative. Large windows pull the surrounding greenery indoors, while hardwood floors and carefully chosen finishes give the rooms a sense of quiet cohesion. A central living room anchors the interior, complete with a fireplace and generous seating that encourages long conversations rather than quick impressions. Nearby, a separate study adds privacy without isolation, reinforcing the home's layered but practical layout. The kitchen reflects the same philosophy. Updated and modern, it features granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and a gas stove, all arranged around a large island that naturally becomes a gathering point. A brick fireplace adds texture and warmth, softening the space and connecting it to the rest of the house. The dining area opens directly onto the covered patio, allowing meals to drift outdoors when the weather permits. From here, the land stretches outward, uninterrupted, reinforcing the sense that the house exists in service of its surroundings. Private areas continue the theme of comfort without excess. The primary bedroom is spacious and calm, paired with a walk-in closet and a refined 5-piece bathroom that favors function over display. Light moves easily through the room, and the silence at night is complete. Every detail feels considered, not decorative, reinforcing the idea that this is a home meant to be lived in daily. Beyond the house itself, the ranch is unmistakably shaped by Johnson's love of horses. A 4-bay stable, complete with training yard and tractor storage, sits within easy reach of the main residence. The meadows are expansive and well-kept, offering room for riding, training, and simple observation. Ancient trees and open grassland give the property a sense of permanence, as though it has always been part of the landscape rather than imposed upon it. This Colorado ranch is not a retreat from life, but a continuation of it at a different volume. It supports routine, family, and physical connection to land without the need for reinvention. For Don Johnson, it is not a statement. It is where life happens slowly, consistently, and without rehearsal. Before settling in Colorado, his life slowed first along the coast, at a Montecito estate shaped by ocean air and routine. Mansion in Montecito. Set along the Pacific coast in Montecito, this is where Don Johnson and his wife chose to live, largely because the home opens directly toward the ocean. In the mornings, they wake to the cool sea air, sitting on the bed and playing guitar for one another before the day begins. The driveway leading into the property is long and winding, creating a clear sense of separation before the house comes into view. This is not a place meant for display, but a space kept for calm, continuity, and a life lived at a quieter pace. He lives on a property that spans roughly 2.5 acres, anchored by an 11,229 square foot main residence with 4 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. Though the original structure dates to 1959, the home has been renovated over time and was acquired by him for $12.5 million in 2018, reshaped into a contemporary layout that favors openness and light over formality. From the front, ocean views stretch beyond the driveway. From the rear, the land opens into lawn, stone paths, and a pool set quietly into the terrain. Inside, the house moves in a natural sequence. The living room sits at the center, defined by high vaulted ceilings and a fireplace built directly into a soft beige wall. Seating gathers low and wide around a glass-topped coffee table, grounded by a patterned rug that keeps the room relaxed rather than ceremonial. Light enters from multiple directions, never harsh, never theatrical. Just beyond, the kitchen remains visually connected to the living space. Pale cabinetry contrasts with dark countertops and stainless steel appliances, practical and restrained. An adjacent work area with a dark wood desk suggests the house is used, not staged. The flow continues into an informal dining area enclosed in glass, where walls and ceiling allow daylight to fill the room completely, dissolving the boundary between interior and landscape. A glass-enclosed sunroom sits further along, structured for lingering mornings and unhurried meals. From there, doors open to a patio overlooking the forested slope below. A fixed stone bench and carefully trimmed shrubs hold the view in place, inviting stillness rather than movement. Outside, the swimming pool anchors the rear of the property, bordered by mosaic pathways and cushioned loungers. The water reflects the sky by day and the warm interior lights by night, when the beige exterior glows softly against the darkening hillside. Nearby, a two-story guest house mirrors the main structure in tone and restraint, offering separation without distance. In recent years, Don Johnson and his wife have passed this Montecito estate on to new owners, closing a chapter shaped by stillness, routine, and coastal living. From here, the story moves away from the house and into motion, following how Don Johnson navigates daily life through the vehicles that accompany him on the road. Car collection. Whether classic or modern, the cars Don Johnson drives today are not chosen to showcase speed or technology. They reflect how he lives now, measured, selective, and grounded in daily reality rather than display. On ordinary mornings, when there is no fixed schedule, Don most often reaches for his Porsche Panamera. Purchased around 2018, it has become his everyday companion, carrying him to coffee, short drives around town, or last-minute work meetings. The Panamera is powerful without drawing attention and comfortable enough to be used continuously. With a current market value of around $100,000, it represents Don's present priorities: ease, control, and practicality over statement-making. When the day calls for a more formal presence, his rhythm changes. That is when the Bentley Continental GT from the 2003 to 2011 era comes into view. The car appears in behind-the-scenes moments from Man's World, where Don is seen discussing scripts beside the glossy black coupe. Its classic grand touring character, leather interior, and sense of separation from the outside world suit a man who still works, but no longer needs to announce himself. Today, the car carries a value of roughly $80,000, understated but dignified. Some cars in Don Johnson's garage no longer serve daily movement. They hold memory instead. The yellow 1971 Plymouth Barracuda, widely known as Nash Bridges, is one of them. Collected when he was younger, the car remains a personal marker rather than a practical choice. He rarely drives it, bringing it out mainly for promotional photo sessions. Valued at approximately $180,000, the Barracuda speaks less about the present and more about a defining era of his public image. At the deepest level of the collection sits the Bentley Blower from 1930. When Don posed with the car in 2017, the moment felt reflective rather than promotional. With its long profile, exposed mechanical details, and black lacquer finish, The blower resembles a historical artifact more than a vehicle. Its current value is estimated at around $3 million, symbolizing craftsmanship, legacy, and time rather than movement. Don Johnson's cars do not tell a story of excess or trends. They trace a quieter journey, from visibility to restraint, from momentum to balance, and from proving oneself to simply choosing how and when to move. As the way Don Johnson moves through life becomes clearer, the story now turns to how his choices shaped the flow of income that followed. Income and net worth. Don Johnson has built an acting career spanning over 5 decades, from humble supporting roles to Hollywood icon, and his net worth is estimated to stabilize at $50 million by early 2026. But before reaching his current level of wealth, Don Johnson's income in the early years of his career was extremely modest, at times no more than about $100. From the late 1960s through the early 1980s, he relied on supporting roles in theater, independent films, and television. Pay during this period was often only a few $100s per project, offering no financial stability. To survive, Don took on manual side jobs, including work in a butcher shop while continuing to pursue acting. The work existed, but money remained uncertain. The financial turning point came in 1984 with his role as Sonny Crockett on Miami Vice. During the first 2 seasons, Don earned approximately $30,000 to $35,000 per episode. As the series became a global phenomenon, he went on strike in 1986 to renegotiate his contract. His salary rose to around $65,000 per episode and later approached $100,000 per episode. With 111 episodes produced, Miami Vice generated tens of millions of dollars for Don throughout the 1980s, forming the strongest financial foundation of his career. Alongside television, he released 2 albums, Heartbeat in 1986 and Let It Roll in 1989. Heartbeat achieved gold certification, and its title track reached the top 5 on the Billboard charts, providing a secondary but meaningful income stream. After Miami Vice ended, Don's earnings slowed in the early 1990s. Films such as The Hot Spot and Guilty as Sin provided steady income, but nothing comparable to his television peak. Stability returned in 1996 with Nash Bridges, where Don served as both lead actor and executive producer, earning approximately $150,000 per episode. Across 122 episodes, his base earnings are estimated at around $18 million, excluding syndication. In 2010, Don sued Reicher Entertainment for unpaid syndication profits tied to his 50% ownership. A jury awarded him $23.2 million, and he ultimately received a $19 million settlement in 2013, significantly strengthening his net worth. Don also faced financial pressure. In 2008, his 17-acre ranch in Aspen nearly went into foreclosure due to $14.5 million in debt, which he paid off just in time. After that, he adopted a more cautious real estate strategy, including purchasing a Montecito farmhouse for $12.5 million in 2013 and listing it for $14.9 million the following year. From the 2010s to the present, Don's income has come from selective roles in projects such as Machete, Django Unchained, Knives Out, Watchmen, and Dr. Odyssey. While no longer a top-earning star, Don Johnson has maintained long-term financial balance through acting, producing, royalties, legal settlements, and carefully managed real estate investments. At this stage of his life, money is no longer something Don Johnson needs to chase or prove. It reflects a career that endured pressure, mistakes, and recovery, then settled into balance through control rather than excess. And from that financial stability, the story moves quietly toward how Don Johnson chooses to give back, without spectacle or explanation. Philanthropy. For nearly 40 years, Don Johnson's philanthropic work spanned from 1986 to 2026, encompassing dozens of initiatives with estimated personal contributions of $2 to $3 million and a total fundraising impact of $5 to $10 million. His charitable involvement began in the mid-1980s at the height of Miami Vice. In 1986, Johnson participated in the Miami Vice Season 3 Charity Bash, a high-profile fundraising gala supporting children's services and healthcare organizations in Miami. Based on the scale of the event and industry estimates, his personal contribution ranged from $50,000 to $100,000, while his presence helped generate an additional $200,000 to $500,000 through sponsorships and ticket sales. During the 1990s, Johnson shifted towards selective, symbolic contributions. In 1994, he donated his original Miami Vice suit to Planet Hollywood for charity auctions, raising an estimated $20,000 to $50,000 for children-focused programs. Rather than launching a foundation, he consistently used personal assets and limited appearances to support fundraising without drawing attention to himself. In the 2000s, Johnson remained involved on a measured scale. In 2014, he joined the Ice Bucket Challenge supporting the ALS Association, combining personal donations with visibility that helped amplify the campaign. His indirect impact is estimated at $1 to $2 million in raised funds, with a personal donation of $10,000 to $50,000. Between 2010 and 2020, he also participated in several Charity Buzz auctions benefiting Chris Evert charities, contributing to a combined total of approximately $50,000 to $100,000. From 2020 through early 2026, Johnson reduced public activity but continued steady private giving. Annual donations to small community, health, and children's organizations in Aspen and New Mexico are estimated at $20,000 to $50,000 per year. Across 4 decades, Don Johnson's philanthropy has remained steady, selective, and private. It mirrors his broader approach to life. Contribute where it matters, avoid spectacle, and let consistency speak louder than visibility. Beyond philanthropy, his priorities become clearer in the way he organizes his personal life today. Personal life. Today, at 76, Don Johnson lives a life defined less by visibility and more by balance. He still appears sharp and composed, often noted for looking younger than his age, but what stands out now is how settled his days have become. For over 26 years, he has shared that steadiness with his wife, Kelly Flegger. Their relationship unfolds quietly, rooted in routine rather than attention. When Don does share moments of affection, they are brief and genuine. Simple photos, a kiss, or a caption calling Kelly his beautiful bride of 26 glorious years, as he posted on Instagram recently. Family now sits at the center of his life. Don remains close to his 3 children, and the bond shows through presence rather than words. From time to time, he posts glimpses of that closeness, attending a sporting event with his sons, spending a day fishing, or sharing an easy round of golf followed by watermelon juice. Sports have become a natural bridge between generations, a shared rhythm that doesn't require explanation. Holidays matter more than premieres. In a recent Instagram post, the entire family is seen gathered on a Christmas-decorated staircase, relaxed and smiling. There is no sense of performance, only familiarity. It reflects the pace of his life today, unhurried, domestic, and intact. Don Johnson's most recent role is Captain Robert Massey in Dr. Odyssey. On screen, he appears with the ease and composure of someone who has lived through enough chapters to no longer prove anything. There is no need for display, yet his presence still carries weight and steadiness within the frame. At this stage, Don is no longer chasing reinvention. He chooses to appear sparingly, in roles that fit his rhythm, arriving at the right moment, holding onto a version of cool that endures without needing noise or attention. If this quieter chapter speaks to you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next stories about life beyond the spotlight.